There we are. Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Offset Haru, and I'm coming to you today with another exciting edition of Ask An Aquarius. If you have to ask anybody, you may as well ask an Aquarius. So listen up. Somebody told me a very interesting question. I got an email, and the question was basically, how can you tell if your girlfriend is bisexual? I have received this question before. Actually, I've had a man even ask me. I've had women ask me. I've had different people ask me this question. I've even had a man ask me, how do you know if a man is bisexual or if he's, if he's gay? And basically, a lot of people give you a lot of signs and things. And I'm going to stick to the women because he asked me about women. A lot of people they give you a lot of signs. Okay, if they do this or if they do that. And I'm just going to call bullshit on all the signs, straight up. Because I have women friends who are platonic friends, and I have female friends who are romantic friends. I've always had both. And honestly, there's really no difference in the two relationships. The only difference is that the romantic ones and I have sex, and the ones who are not romantic, we don't have sex. That's the only real difference. Women have a tendency to be very close with other women as like sisters, not in like a romantic kind of way. So you might know two women who go shopping together, who hang out together, who eat out all the time. They might even like share a bed, but never are romantic. It's just not even something they even think about, It's more of a sister energy. Growing up, me and my best friends did everything together, but we never had sex. Wasn't even a thought. So my thing is that two women who are friends, best friends or sisters, god sisters, we'll call each other. In our community, somebody's always your god sister. If somebody your god sister, that's generally one of your best friends. So two women who are that close, in most situations, they're not having sex. But at the same time, if two women are having sex, the relationship looks very similar. It looks very, very similar. So I'm going to just tell you straight up. If you think that your woman is bisexual, the best thing to do is to find out by asking her. Now, most people who are gay or bi or pan or any of those kind of things who, are open to alternative forms of love, as I will call it, most of us have experienced a great deal of negativity. So we usually don't just, I do, I talk about it whenever, but some people don't always just admit it, especially to the man that they're seeing. So if you want your woman to tell you the truth that she's bi or not, you need to create an environment that's welcoming to the conversation, because that's the only way she's going to feel comfortable saying it. You need to create an environment that she knows that regardless of what her sexuality is welcome. You said you wouldn't treat her any different anyway. So you're already in that vibration. So you have to open up the floor in the home or in the conversations that you're open-minded towards sexuality, that you're open-minded towards, homosexuals or lesbians or bisexuals or things along those lines. You have to open the floor that you're open-minded, and there's not going to be any negativity or any backlash from you if she says yes, if she admits it. You told me that she said that she had done something, when she was younger. She had experimented when she was younger. Now, just because somebody experiments doesn't mean that they're bi. It just means that they're curious. We call it bi-curious. So if somebody's bi-curious, they may or may not ever even do it again. Some people are bi-curious and have one experience, maybe two, maybe even three, and then say, you know what? I really wasn't feeling it. I felt forced. I didn't like it. I've counseled people who said, I did it, in a threesome for my husband or for my wife, and I really just didn't like it. So if they didn't like it and they weren't feeling it, then it's not something that's part of their identity. So I wouldn't label them as being bisexual. I would just say they had an experience. Once upon a time, they had an experience. So her experience shows you that she's open to it, but it doesn't say that she's bisexual. It just says that she was open to an experience. So now that she's told you that much, now what I would do if I were you is I would just create a welcoming environment. I would let her know that with me, it was her sexuality, no matter what it was no problem. You see, those are the, when I was still seeing men, when they came off like that, I would be more open to telling them the truth about my sexuality. When they came off negatively, I didn't tell them anything. I just totally disregarded the conversation and like kind of like, when it came up, I would just disappear. So if you really want her to be honest with you, let her know that it's okay. When homosexuals are on TV, don't say rude things. Even if you are like not certain about how you feel about it, say things that are affirming. If you say things that are affirming, she'll be like, okay. So if you see two women kissing on TV, for example, and you say to her, that's so sweet. Look at them. They're in love. Something as simple as that will let her know that you're okay and that she can say whatever she wants to say. Usually we're waiting for signs that you're cool and that we can be our honest self with you. So the sooner you show her that she can be honest with you, the sooner that, you open up that door, the better. Now, mind you, if she is in the closet, it's going to take that much more, because a person who's in the closet is invested in you and nobody else finding out. So no matter how opening and welcoming you are, they're going to hold back for a while. So if she's in the closet, meaning that she is bisexual, but she's not open about it, she doesn't tell anybody but her bisexual lovers. So if she's bi and she's seeing women and she's in the closet, she's not going to be as quick to tell you the truth. So it may take you longer. But either way, just keep being affirming about sexuality. Keep on letting her know. Don't say, are you bi? I wouldn't treat you any different if you were, because that's going to put her on the spot and make her scared. Talk about other people. Oh, this person, talk about real situations that come up in your life. Oh, my cousin Tina told the family that she's bi. Or I just found out that growing up, my cousin had some bisexual experiences. I had no idea. Just open the floor that you're open and that you're open-minded. Then she'll feel comfortable, like, okay, even if she's in the closet, she may eventually, after a long time, tell you. You might be the first person she ever even tells, So I'm going to tell you to do it that way. Don't try to play pet detective, because a lot of people do that. They'll be like, oh, well, they went underwear shopping together. Like my friend, I got a friend, and we've been friends for so long. We've done everything. We've gone underwear shopping together. We have done everything, done each other's hair. When I broke my ankle, she's the one that wrapped it. We are so close, but we've never had sex, never talked about sex, never imagined sex. She's like a twin to me, she's like a best friend, like a sister. Having sex with her would be really gross. It would be really gross. Not because she's unattractive, because she's a beautiful woman, but because it would be like having sex with my sister. And I don't care how gay you are, having sex with family members is not the thing to do. Most of us, unless people are into incest, which I know does happen, but I don't recommend that ever. That's just dysfunction and grossness waiting to happen. But as far as she's concerned, she feels like a sister to me. So I would never sleep with her. But other people, including he who will go unnamed, accused me of this woman for like 15 years. I've been accused of this woman for over a decade, and I've never touched her. Never thought about touching her. We would joke, we would laugh, we would play. People would say stuff about me being gay, her being my wife. We laugh and hee and stuff like that, but we've never even come close. So you can't really go by the behavior, because like I said, sisters behave in much the same way. The lesbian women who I've been in relationships with, or the women that I've been in relationships with, our relationships were just like two best friends. We went shopping, we ate dinner, we went places, we did stuff. The sex is the only thing that's different. The sexual romantic stuff is the only thing that's different than between two best friends, or two god sisters, or two sisters, or two cousins. That's the only thing. That's why a lot of women like being with women, because it's so comfortable in that way. It's like your best buddy. Your best buddy is your lover, So a lot of women like it because of that. So when you're looking at them and looking at two women's behavior, and if they're spending time, if they're hanging out, it's hard to figure out if they're actually together. unless they say it or do something romantic in front of you. So don't play the game of trying to figure it out. Just make the environment welcoming that she will tell the truth. Okay? And if the environment is welcoming enough, and even if you have gay friends, like you might have some bisexual or gay friends and you have them over, let her know, like, oh, so and so's coming over, she's bisexual, she's very open, she's a really nice girl, wanted you to meet her. If you do stuff like that and she's open to these situations, I mean, just platonically have dinner with the girl or meet her out for some coffee or something, or if it's a guy who's bi, whatever. If you open out in that way and in that kind of environment, either verbally or physically or both, then she'll be like, okay, he's cool. I can be honest with him. The first person that I really told about my sexuality was my daughter's father. And that was why I told him, because he made the environment very open and didn't seem to care. he never did, really. He never did at all. Sexuality never bothered him at all. He never really cared. It never interested him, and he never cared. To him, it was just, it wasn't even important. So when I got that message from him, it let me be comfortable enough to say, well, I think I am interested in women. And he was like, oh, okay. Pass the peace. He went on to the next thing. So it was no big deal. So I felt comfortable talking to him and saying, oh, this one is cute, or did you see that one? And he would come home, he would be like, were you looking at my Playgirl magazines? He had these they weren't Playgirl, they were like some kind of magazines with black women with big butts. And I'd be looking at his magazines, and he'd come home and be like, were you looking at my magazines again? And I'd be like, yeah, I'll put them back, don't worry about it. And it was blown off. It was never a big deal. So I felt comfortable talking to him. And that's one thing about him that was very good, is that we had a great conversations, and I was able to come out to myself in that way. I admit it to myself. So if you do the same thing in this situation, that's your best way of getting the truth. Otherwise, you're going to get maybes and, that kind of thing. Asking directly can get you the right answer sometimes. But in this case, I wouldn't ask directly, because it's something that so many people lie about. So many people hide this. And it's not because they're dishonest. They just don't want to deal with the negativity. People who come out the closet deal with a lot of negativity from total strangers. People who are Bible thumpers or whatever the case is. It's people out there who are dead wrong, murderers, killers, thieves that are come at you for your sexuality. You ain't supposed to do that. They'll come right. You be like, well, wait a minute, didn't you kill 20 people last week? And you talking to me about what I do? They will come at you. So we get a lot of negativity, and people who are in the closet are scared of the negativity. That's usually what keeps them in the closet. So coming at them directly usually just makes them more afraid. So just make the environment welcoming, open that door, and that's your best way of finding out the real truth. But if you think that your girlfriend is bisexual, you should find out. Not because it's going to change anything, but because it may help her to be able to talk about it, number one. And number two, that might open up doors in your relationship. Maybe your relationship will be poly. Who knows? Who knows what door that could open if you find out about it. And it might not open any doors at all, and you have to be prepared for that too. So just find out. Find out like that. And that's your best way. Okay? See you later.